extent, if any, communism and fascism are the same thing?
Okay. Well, I thought I could speak, and I will speak on this issue, but I figured it was best to let Hitler speak for himself. So I got on the web, there's a wonderful website, I don't want to know who runs it, it's called Hitler.org or something, it has every speech the man ever gave. And I pulled up two speeches, two quotes from the man about how he felt about socialism and communism, what I'm advocating. He said, 14 years of Marxism have ruined Germany. 1 year of Bolshevism, which is communism, would destroy her. The richest and fairest territories of the world would be turned into smoking heaps of ruin. Even the sufferings of the last decade and a half could not be compared to the misery of a Europe in the heart of which the red flag of destruction has been hoisted. Yeah, real communist there. I mean, yeah, I mean... And he goes on, this is another quote. He says, there are only two possibilities for Germany. It is either the left, and then God help us, for it will lead to us to complete destruction, to Bolshevism, again, communism, or else it is a party of the right, which will at last ruthlessly seize the reins of power. Now, if Hitler were truly a leftist, like this guy, I know there's this guy, Jonah Goldberg, who wrote this book, Liberal Fascism, trying to argue that Hitler was a leftist or something. If Hitler were anything of a Marxist or a leftist, he would not have said that, okay? Fascism is a right-wing ideology. Fascists seek a society where poor people know their place. Fascists seek a society where women know their place. Fascism seeks a society where people of different religions and different ethnicities don't exist, you know, the Holocaust. And I encourage everyone to see the play Nightmare of Crime, which is being performed on this campus right now. So what is it we communists seek? We seek something entirely different. We seek a world where the people are in control and there is total equality of the people. There's no straight on top of gay or men hierarchical over women or any of that oppression or national, you know, white people dominating over black people. It's all wrong. We say equality of the people. That's what we fight for. It is the exact opposite of what Hitler was fighting for. And I just want to pull up an example of something I did when I was doing research for this. I read a book on Belarus, which is the only socialist country remaining in the Soviet bloc. And during World War II, Belarus was invaded by the Nazis. And the Nazis took a platoon. They captured a platoon of Soviet soldiers in the Red Army. And they took this platoon, and some of the members of the platoon were Jewish. And they took the Jewish members of the platoon, and they separated them, and they told the non-Jewish members, they said, we'll let you live if you take the Jewish members of this platoon and you bury them alive. We'll let you live then. But if you don't do it, we're going to kill you. And you know what all the Soviet soldiers said? They refused. They refused to bury their Jewish comrades alive because Marxism, Leninism, and communism teaches that human beings are equal and that they would rather die themselves than degrade their fellow members of socialism. Socialism preaches the equality of people. And I do want to point out, you know, a way to tell if a country is socialist or not is who owns the means of production. That's what I'm arguing for tonight as a socialist or communist, is that the means of production should be publicly owned. Who owned the means of production in Nazi Germany? Hitler. The fascists. Big business. You know, I mean, Volkswagen, you know, that was a company that made out great like bandits during the Holocaust and all of that. And, you know, let's keep in mind, why did Hitler come to power? You know, in Germany, there were two ways it could have gone. It could have been communism and a revolution, which would have shook the world, a revolution in one of the most industrial countries in the heart of Europe, or it could have been fascism. Hitler was backed and funded by the big bankers who essentially run this country. They put Hitler in power to suppress a communist revolution. We are the antithesis of what Hitler is. And it's the worst lie, the rulers of this country that are trying to say that fascism and communism are the same thing. You know, in this country, the silver shirts, the government hired silver shirts, which were American Nazis, to attack us when we were demonstrating in the 1930s. And who was shooting at Hitler before he came to power? The German Communist Party. And revolutionaries have always been fighting against Nazis. You know, we've always been fighting against them. And whenever the Klan holds marches in the city, who is leading the protests against them? Who is leading the Can the Klan rallies? Who's beating them up? It's us. We're fighting against them. We're the opposite of what they are. And for people to equate the two is just the biggest slander, and that's all I want to say. Thank you.